What up, Fit Click, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Kristen, and I will be walking you through my leg day workout. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So for today's workout, we're starting with a stretch. I'll be stretching primarily my lower body because that's the emphasis of the workout for today. So I'm doing a quad stretch here, and then I also want to make sure that I'm stretching out the hamstrings and also stretching out my hips. So I'm doing these stretches before I get started because I just want to make sure that my workout is effective. And I can go more into detail why doing stretching will help your workout. Let me know in the comments if you want something like that, and I can go ahead and make sure we talk about it. So yeah, continuing to stretch here. I have this stretch apparatus in my gym. Not everyone has one, but you don't have to use it. As you'll see, it is very helpful to hold on to when you're stretching, but definitely you do not need it, but it is helpful. All right, so this stretch here is one of my favorites. This low lunge, just to open up the hips, sliding through plank and then switching other side. And I hold these for about 10 to 30 seconds, depending on what I need for the day. And another thing that I want to do is activate the muscles. So basically getting the muscles nice and warm and prepared for the workout that we're going to do. So next I move on to these hip mobility circles. So you're just circling the hip inward and outward and then switch sides. This is just going to help me open up my hips so that I can get deeper into the squat once we start doing our leg presses. And so I want to also make sure that I'm activating my glutes and my quads. So I'm doing some squats here, holding on to this apparatus here, and just doing a few pulses in a chair, sit. You don't have to use this, obviously, if you don't have it at your disposal or at your gym. You can sit or do your wall sits on a wall, right? And I'm gonna do that here. Instead of using the wall, I'm just sliding down this pole and coming into a chair or seated position and just hold it. These burn so bad, but it's a great way for you to activate your quads. And I'll just do it to failure. So I'm holding until I literally cannot hold it anymore. And that's the warm-up. All right, so our first exercise that I'm doing today is our leg extensions. Okay, so this is our leg extension. And I have to adjust this most times when I come into the gym. So it has, every machine is slightly different, but the one here has a knob, and you basically I want to press this all the way forward because I'm 5 feet tall, I'm shorter, and so I need it pressed forward. But you can always adjust this for your weight, and you should adjust this for your weight. I'm using about 40 pounds, not 80 today. Definitely gonna go back up to 40, but that's how you use that. You just pull it out and then put the pin where you need it, and that's how you change the weight. So so you want to take your feet and place them behind the foot pad, and then you want to sit upright as much as you can, and this is why I push my chair all the way forward. And then I'm lifting both legs up, squeezing my thighs, my quads at the top, and lowering them back down. I have my feet flexed in this position. There are other variations that you can do with foot placement, but today I'm keeping it simple, flexing the feet as I take it up and down. I'm a little bit out of shape, so this was really challenging for me to do. You also want to make sure that you're not slamming the weight down, so nice and control and smooth as you bring your feet down. I exhale at the most challenging part of the exercise. That's when you want to breathe out. And I did 3 sets of 10 today. Okay. And I hope to progress and add more weight and hopefully get up to 12 reps. But today, 3 sets, 10 reps. And so the next exercise I chose to do are leg press. So when I got to the machine, it didn't have any weight loaded. You can totally do this without any weight, but I know I can squat with 2 plates. And each of these plates, they weigh about 45 pounds each. So yeah, do the math. That's what I am lifting today, or squatting today. And I like the leg press because it does support my back a lot more than a barbell squat. And especially if you aren't like in your best shape, I would say this is an easier way to do it. But you just start light. Okay, so this is important here. This has a bar, and you need to turn the bar, and then it releases these hooks, we're gonna call them, and then you're able to move the machine. I would suggest, if you never used this before, to try and move that without any weight, so that you're not in the middle of an exercise and then it's too heavy and you don't know how to like adjust the machine. So always work with the machine with low weight before adding weight on. That's a tip that I have, especially, like I said, if you've never used any of the machines before, try no weight and then progress once you are familiar with how to use the machine. So for this one, keeping it simple, my legs are about a little wider than hip distance, so maybe about shoulder distance apart. I'm pressing through the heels, big exhale. And I'm pushing my tailbone down into the seat. I'm trying to squat as deep as I can, and that's why I did my hip opener stretches during my warm-up, because it does help me get deeper into this squat position. So we're on to the next. The next exercise are hip abductions, or abduction, as you might hear it referred. And for this machine, you can actually do adduction, and or abduction. So you could basically work the inner or the outer portion of your legs. And I'm choosing to work the outer, which would hit the outside, the side portion of my glutes, or my glute medius, or some refer to it as the side booty. And I really love training this muscle. It burns so good. However, like, this has really given my glutes nice definition and shape, so I'm always doing this. And for this, I'm keeping it light. I'm doing higher reps here in lower weight, so I believe I have about 40 pounds, and I'm doing 20 reps and 3 sets. Now, I definitely can go heavier, but I'm doing this kind of as an active rest in between the sets, so pretty much like a superset, back to back. And then after I do the 20 reps, I'm doing a pulse for 20, okay? So you'll see I'm gonna leave my legs out, and it's just gonna pulse out. Here it is. So this is the pulse, and I like this because it gives my glutes more of that burn, that definition that I need. It's harder, okay, just to hold the leg out here and pulse, much harder than the full range. So I like to add this in as well. So I did both of these back to back, and I did 3 sets, 20 each. I add this in to my legs just because I like to have a well-rounded leg leg day. And this is hamstring curls. Now, I like to train my hamstrings using deadlifts. But for today, because I'm just getting back into the swing of my workout routine in the gym, I'm doing this seated leg curl. And so for me, this is not challenging. My hamstrings are very strong, so I do a lot of other things to help with flexibility for my hamstrings. In fact, the whole back of my body, my posterior, tends to be more muscular, more defined than the front part of my body. So I do like to focus on my thighs, my quads, a little bit more than my hamstrings, but I don't want to neglect my hamstrings either. So for today's workout, I decided to do the seated hamstring curl, and I have heavier weight just because I'm able to do that, do a heavier weight for my hamstrings. But I suggest you try out to see which weight works best for you. And you don't want it to be too easy, and you don't want it to be like straining the back of your knee. If it's hurting your joint in any way, it is too heavy. And that's just a rule of thumb for all these exercises. Your joints should never be hurting. And then after you're done, I go ahead and admire the work. So I'll go and take a progress pic. I think progress pics or videos are really important because the camera doesn't lie. You get to see your progress, and sometimes when you are looking at yourself in the mirror, you're not able to see the progress. Other people notice it, but when you take photos, you can really see how far you've come, and you can see the differences in how your body changes over time. So I do this because it helps me stay motivated. So it's not just for vanity. It is definitely a method to the madness. All right, and I am done for the day. I'm probably going to head out and go for a walk to get some coffee or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching.